Hello friends, I'm here today to share with you an original tag that I have created. This coming up weekend is Book Bonanza, and so I wanted to do a book signing tag. So I came up with 9 questions all about my signing stories, how I go about signings, that kind of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and then at the end I will tag some creators down below that I know have gone to signings as well. Question number 1 is, how many signings have you been to and what was your first? I have been to 6 signings. This coming up Book Bonanza will be my 7th, and my very first signing was the original Book Bonanza in 2018 in Denver. My sister and one of our friends and I drove with all 3 of us and all of our books and all of our luggage in my teeny tiny little Ford Fiesta hatchback that I had at the time, and it was a very uncomfortable ride but a very fun trip. Question 2, do you prefer small or big signings? And by this I mean like the author list. I've done a couple of both of these, and honestly the crowds at the ones with smaller author lists are so much easier to manage, but there's just something about like a big book bonanza. I have mentioned a couple of times, I know that I thought that this year might be my last, but like the closer we get to Book Bonanza, the more I'm excited about it. And so I really think just the atmosphere of the bigger signings is what I actually prefer, even though the crowd levels are insane. Question number 3, do you tackle signings solo, with a buddy, or in a group? I prefer to have a buddy. For the Book Bonanzas, it's always been my sister and I. I just feel like it's easier to like have somebody to take your picture with the author, or like if you don't know what to say, there's somebody there who can kind of pick up that slack for you. Question number 4, favorite author you've met at a signing? And I don't expect anybody to just have one, but it just sounded better as a singular instead of a plural. So from my very first Book Bonanza, I would say that my favorites are still Cora Carmack, Jay Crownover, and Elle Kennedy. I'll put those pictures up on the screen now. Those were authors that I was completely obsessed with at the time. And so just like finally meeting them, plus like finally experiencing a book signing in general, was just, it was so perfect. And since then I would consider Rebecca Yarros, Sapphire Knight, who, this is from this picture is from Readers Take Denver, but I actually met her at Holidays with the Bells, and she was super sweet, and I didn't even know she was one of the authors at first, but we were chatting and then I found that out. And then of course you have to put Beverly Jenkins in it, because it was honestly kind of surreal that her name was even on the Readers Take Denver list. And then it was one of those where I kind of kept waiting for her to drop out, and then she was all of a sudden there in front of us, and I was with people. This was one of the ones where I went in a group, and just like everybody in the group just knew, like it was just so special because we all just knew that it was Beverly Jenkins in front of us, if that makes sense. So yeah, I would definitely consider those my favorite authors that I've met at signings. Question number 5, your favorite hidden gem book that you've discovered at a signing. And mine is actually a whole series, but I only brought out the first book, and that is the Last Call series by Sawyer Bennett. I don't remember if it was the 2018 or 2019 Book Bonanza when I ordered these. Must have been the 2018 one, because in the fall of 2017 we had taken a family vacation to the Outer Banks, North Carolina, and that's where the series takes place. And so when we met her and she was like explaining to us all about her books and everything, she said that this one was set in the Outer Banks, and so I picked this one up, bought the whole series. And yeah, I really enjoyed the whole series, and it all takes place there, and it's very atmospherical, and it just like brought me back to vacation. So yeah, I would definitely say that this was the hidden gem that I discovered. Question number 6, what is your favorite type of panel to go to? I always really love the like tropes that I'm really into. Like, I always enjoy a small town. I always love a sports romance panel. But I will say I do like the panels where they're a bit more technical about the way that they write or why they chose to write the certain aspects of whatever the panel subject is, rather than the ones where it's just kind of like fun and games. But that's just my personal opinion. I want to go to the panels to learn about the writing process. But yeah, that's just me. Question 7, what is your favorite type of swag? I enjoy a writing pen. I pretty much grab any pins or stickers that I see. But yeah, I would definitely say a writing pen is the top of my list. Question number 8, what is your favorite picture from a signing? And I'm going to go with this picture of Cora Carmack and I from 2018 in Denver. We met, like, she was like walking through while we were outside, and I don't remember if it was my sister or a friend that convinced me to like flag her down, and she was super sweet. She's definitely my favorite author at the time, just due to unfortunately not being able to release. I would say she's probably still top 5, but maybe not quite that top anymore. But yeah, it was so surreal to like finally be, I think I said that earlier too. It's so surreal to just finally be at the signing, and then to meet her in a little bit less formal of a setting. I felt like it was a bit easier to chat. And finally, the last question is, what is one big tip that you would give to somebody attending their first signing? And I would say to not only go to authors that you know. A lot of the times you will find that hidden gem, like I pointed out with the Sawyer Bennett book. You'll find that hidden gem book and maybe even become like an all-time favorite if you go to an author you don't know. I always feel kind of bad when authors like don't have anybody in their line, and then like sometimes they're like right next to somebody who's like huge, and so definitely I would say at least at the last book bonanza, and a couple of the smaller signings, I've really made it a point to go to those people that have less in their lines. And I found some really good books out of it. So don't discount an author's table just because they don't have a line, would be my big tip. So that is the book signing tag. If you attend signings, please feel free to consider yourself tagged. I'm also going to go ahead and tag some of my friends that I know are book signing people. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.